Warning, this video contains massive amounts of blood, swearing, and sexual references. If you are offended by such material, you know what, screw this. If you played No More Heroes before, you know this shit already.
Hey, does anyone remember that list about No More Heroes I made last year? Kinda reminds me of something.
I'm a fire in my leg.
Yeah, that. Well, since then I think I've improved some in both editing and script writing, and also since then I've played No More Heroes 2 and thought the game was awesome. Especially in the boss battles. Well, most of them. So today I'm here to list off my 10 favorite boss battles from the entire No More Heroes series. Now, only 5 bosses from each game, and also there will be spoilers. Alright, don't think I need to say anything else. Are you ready, Travis?
It's game time.
Pushes deep into the ground. Touchdown! Hey, violence!
After this, I'm gonna touch you down.
A lot, and I mean a lot of things happen right before the rank 1 battle of the first game. You find out that the UAA is a load of crap and that what you've been doing the entire game was all for nothing. But Sylvia's mother tells you to finish the job anyway. Because you've come so far, you might as well clean up what you've already started. So Travis goes outside, only to find his motorcycle stolen. He finds it and chases off some stormtroopers that would be piloting some TIE fighters in Star Wars. So once you finally reach the rank 1 battle, you're about to fight Darth Vader, Darkstar. And holy shit, this fight looks awesome. This guy pulls out a giant dragon beam right out of his helmet and it looks fucking incredible. Oh wow, I can't wait to fight this guy! Oh, no? You're killing him for me? Okay, I'll fight you instead then. Okay, my half-sister Jean, what do you have for me today? So the fight with Jean is actually pretty awesome, not only for the fight, but for the cutscene before it. Jean talks about her backstory, but because it's so terrible and screwed up, Travis literally speeds up the game so it doesn't get delayed.
You don't want this to become No More Heroes forever, do you?
So right before the fight, Jean punches Darkstar's dragon beam and makes a barricade around the two of them. Jean is practically impossible to hit, and she has some pretty powerful attacks. And the fight is pretty damn hard because, like I said, Jean is pretty difficult to hit while she dodges everything that would only be seen in something like the Matrix. And after you hurt Jean more, Jean will gradually shorten the barricade after you put more damage on her. After one final Force Lost quick time event, Jean punches a hole into your chest. But after it looks like all hope is lost, Shinobu comes in and saves you. And then you completely decapitate her. And can I just point out one thing here? Where did her arm go? I mean, it's not like it just evaporated or some shit, did it?
Now, you may be wondering, well, that's a shame. I really would have liked to see how great of a fight Darkstar would have been. Oh well, looks like we'll never get that pleasure. Well, actually...
After this, I'm gonna touch you down.
So after going through those 2 god-awful fights with Million Gunmen and New Destroyman as Shinobu, we're finally back in control of Travis. And what do we get as a returning fight? An awesome one! And this fight is basically like you're finally battling the previously mentioned Darkstar. Meet Ryuji. Ryuji is a Japanese assassin who is basically someone Travis actually finds worthy of fighting. The only problem with the fight is that beginning motorcycle segment. It plays out like complete crap. So you finish it and think that the fight is over. But Ryuji comes back up so he and Travis can start their fight. He can produce the same type of dragon that Darkstar could, but this one looks way cooler. Also, this fight is filled with symbolism. Travis can turn into a tiger and Ryuji has a giant dragon. These represent the eternal fight that is yin and yang. And the atmosphere in this fight is really cool too. It plays out like a stereotypical samurai film where the 2 swordsmen fight at sunset until one of them dies. But in the end, Travis screams in triumph, but he also can't bring himself to kill Ryuji because he's basically his equal and Travis sees him as a respectable opponent. But Sylvia ends up gunning him down anyway because, as the rules state, death must always occur after defeat.
After this, I'm gonna touch you down.
You want to see magic? The 4th ranked assassin Harvey Moisewicz Wolodarski knows some magic. You start off by going to a magic show with Sylvia and seeing the performances of Harvey. It appears that he kills his assistants, but they actually live. But then you find out that the sole reason Harvey brought you here was to kill you. But after Harvey thinks he's actually killed Travis, the fight begins. All I can say is this fight is quite flashy. Harvey does things like teleporting, shooting doves at you, and even flipping the fucking screen upside down. He's even got a one-hit KO move where he traps you in a box and you have to do the correct quick time event to escape it, or else your intestines will be like they've just been microwaved too much and it's about to explode. Also, the theme is quite magical, if I do say so myself. Anyways, the theme really does fit a character like Harvey. The only downside to the fight is that it's pretty easy, but that death scene is awesome. Travis throws his beam katana at Harvey's eyes and he goes blind. Harvey then becomes scared because he's nyctophobic. And for those of you who don't know what that word means, it's someone who's afraid of the dark. And then his own assistants clamp him onto a giant X and then he gets sawed in half. Coolest death ever!
After this, I'm gonna touch you down!
Huh. A very long highway. Wonder who could be at the end of it. Oh my god, it's Klaus from American Dad. This is Let's Shake. He tells his giant machine that he calls Doctor Travis has arrived and they have to prepare for his attack. Oh man, this looks like it's gonna be a really awesome fight. They prepare all these functions like a checklist and list off the percentage of how much it's ready. Holy crap, this is gonna be awesome! Yeah, let's get him! Killing a giant machine! Wait, what? Henry, why'd you do that? That was my kill, you naughty boy! Well, I guess that's the end of that fight. Next segment, please.
After this, I'm gonna touch...
Why was there just a cutoff? Wait, you're telling me that you really do fight Let's Shake? When? In the second game?
Efficient turn of events, do you agree? Question mark.
Oh, okay, wait a second. Henry's just gonna come out from the sky and slice you up again, isn't he?
Revenge on primary target was previously accomplished. Behold! Saved dramatically.
So Henry makes a cameo.
Oh, well then. On guard! After Travis is informed that he's going to fight 10 other assassins at the same time, it seems like it's gonna be pretty hectic. So Travis waits outside to fight the other assassins, but when he's finally let in, they get completely disintegrated. What the hell just happened? Oh shit, it's Let's Shake again! So, as you can see, Let's Shake has returned from the first game and has now become Dr. Let's Shake. And to make sure that the same events from the first game don't happen again, Dr. Let's Shake freezes Henry in carbonite, obviously ripping off more Star Wars here. And the countdown this time is much quicker than before. So what you have to do in this fight is avoid getting hit by the pillars in the ground and go to a safe area that one won't come up and hurt you. And this guy's theme is called Losing Bowel Control. To think they named this guy's boss theme after just one thing that Let's Shake said in the first game.
I think I'm going to lose the bowel control!
I can't go without mentioning this guy's speech pattern. It's fucking hilarious. Just listen to this.
Who is my next victim? Question mark.
Fucking gold. Fucking gold.
But as a bad side, after this fight, you play as Shinobu.
No. Get that shit away from me.
Even with the Shinobu factor present, this is still an awesome fight, and it definitely deserves number 7 on this list.
After this, I'm gonna touch you down!
One of the more interesting fights in No More Heroes 2 is the fight with Captain Vladimir. This guy is an astronaut of the Soviet Union who isn't even aware of what he's doing or who he even is. Also, he's got a pretty big array of attacks, mostly involving lasers. But you can't attack this guy head on because he's got a shield that deflects your attacks. But the types of lasers he shoots off are ones from his helmet, the sky, and even a super laser that somehow doesn't destroy the planet. But hey, this is No More Heroes we're talking about. Ridiculous, logic-defying things are quite normal. And as you do more damage to Captain Vladimir, the tubes on his back begin to disconnect from his jetpack and he's most likely regaining his sanity. After the fight, Travis tells him that he's been home the whole time. But just when Sylvia's croons are about to suck him up, Travis refuses to let Sylvia do so. This is where Travis starts to gain a little bit of morality, basically saying, hey, you want to continue to kill hundreds of people? Well, I'm stopping you right there. Even though I've kind of done it myself. But I'm still stopping you! Also, I know it's a bit overused, but why does this guy look like the Fury from Snake Eater? Well, whatever, the fight is still awesome.
Glory to the Soviet Union.
After this, I'm gonna touch you down!
I'm a bit of a sucker when it comes to insanity. When done right, the characters that possess this trait can be extremely fun to watch and you actually really like them despite being a villain. I mean, you've got characters like Kefka Palazzo from Final Fantasy VI, GLaDOS from the Portal series, and the Joker from Batman. And even though people choose to represent Batgirl as the most insane No More Heroes character, I don't think you can get more crazy than someone who shoots lasers out of his crotch. Okay, right off the bat, I want to point out Destroy Man's theme. Stop Hanging DJs is incredibly childlike and demented. It really does speak the word insanity and fits Destroy Man perfectly. Also, this guy has a wide variety of attacks, from the previously mentioned penis laser to force lightning to a fucking Hadouken. At one point, he activates these levitation devices that you have to destroy so you can attack him. And I just love this guy's personality. He's at first a calm and very professional man wanting to make it a fair fight by shaking hands with Travis. But all that changes when he betrays and almost kills you. And in No More Heroes 2, there's two of him! One side of him is a cool-headed professional, and the other one is a sadistic, immature bastard.
Sportsmanship is paramount to a fair and clean fight. Hurry up and shake, dirty nympho.
Too bad the fight with New Destroy Man sucks so much. But this guy has one of the best death scenes ever. Not as much as Harvey, but this one comes close. Destroy Man unleashes the nipples of doom, and Travis fucking splits him in half. This fight is just so awesome, but because of his terrible fight in the second game, I can't place him any higher than number 5. Oh well, this fight still kicks ass.
After this, I'm gonna touch you down!
Oh, hey look, it's the foreshadowed bad girl. The one people call insane due to what she does. Well, I'd have to agree, I just find Destroy Man more insane. But the fight with Bad Girl is obviously better, in my opinion. Although I suppose it would have been kinda nice to know how she became insane in the first place, but I digress. Bad Girl spends her time smacking her sex slaves with a bat and leave them to be grinded up into guts. She also has a diet that consists of nothing but beer, so she will surely have a long-lasting liver. But the fight with her is insanely awesome, no pun intended. On my original list, I put this at number 3, but after thinking about it, it's now my second favorite fight in the game. Anyways, I have to start by mentioning the music. This song called Pleather for Breakfast is the one theme that I truly feel 100% fits with the character that it's playing with. To quote the Autarch of Flame, this is basically what a bunch of drunk girls would listen to while on a joyride. It's extremely catchy, and those lyrics, if you can even call them that, are demented and even schizophrenic. Also, this fight is honestly the most difficult in the entire series, but it's also one of the most complete fights I've ever faced. She's got some really hard-hitting moves that can do quite a bit of damage if you're not careful. Even at one point, she flings her gimps at you that the only way to dodge them is by hitting them back when she flings them at you. If you miss or get hit by them, you'll have to kill them yourself. She even has a one-hit KO move where she falls on the ground and starts crying. If she starts crying with one hand, she's faking it, and if you approach her like that, you're dead. But if it's with two hands, she's actually doing it, and then it's your turn to attack. Halfway through the fight, she spits alcohol on her bat and lights it on fire, and her attacks do more damage this time. But when Bad Girl is finally dead, she'll continue to attack her until you've admitted defeat. Then she actually accepts her death.
After this, I'm gonna touch you down!
Up next, we have what many people consider to be the best fight in the entire series, Alice Twilight. I disagree, obviously, but it's still an excellent fight. This is the point in the game where Travis reaches his breaking point and vows to destroy the UAA. The fight is basically Travis fighting his equal when it comes to abilities, even more so than Ryuji. Except Alice has some sort of General Grievous thing going on, and she launches her beam katana blades at you. Alice herself has realized the brutality of the UAA and has become weary of their actions, so she herself wants to stop them. She's basically informing Travis of the consequences of what revenge and murder can do to a person. But anyways, I guess on to the setting. The atmosphere in this fight is certainly worth mentioning. It's sunset on a rooftop, which makes it just more awesome. and the level before it has you killing several enemies, probably making you question if any of this is right. And when Travis does kill Alice, he just flat out loses it, knowing that he just killed someone who was equal to him. He then goes on about how he's going to take down the UAA and put a stop to their bullshit, even if it means doing it single-handedly. But there's one question I'd like answered. Why is it that during no other fights in the game, Travis gets his opponent's blood shed on him? Oh well, at least Travis finally gets to have sex with Sylvia after the fight, even though he did kind of say fuck off after he killed Alice.
Downward fucking dog!
Whatever. But anyways, you will be missed, Alice. Why did we have to kill you?
After this, I'm gonna touch you down!
Alright, we just beat the game. We can finally relax. Oh, come on! You gotta be shitting me! Wait, you've come to kill another person? Okay then, Mr. Sir Henry motherfucker. It's on! So the real final boss of the first No More Heroes isn't Gene, it's this guy. A fight with the electric guitar playing in the background, and Otaku, his Irish twin brother, both wielding a lightsaber in the middle of a motel parking lot isn't exactly what you call a normal setting. Why should I give a shit about that? This fight is awesome! Henry himself is one of the most badass characters in video game history. He's got a wide arsenal of attacks, including some really powerful combos, and even shooting energy balls. Also, he's got a shit ton of health, so you have to be careful when attacking him. Also, he's got a one-hit kill move that's so flashy and awesome that you actually want to see it. Plus, you can at least see it coming early on before he actually does it. Also, that cutscene after the fight, Henry pretty much picks up what little remains there are of the fourth wall and completely obliterates those teeny tiny pieces. Because, you know, like this game needed more acknowledgement that its characters are aware that they're actually in a video game. And Henry is so badass that we even got to play as him in the second game, even if it was for only one battle that lasts for about 5 minutes. But seriously, why is it that we had 2 whole levels of Shinobu with some of the most awkward platforming ever, and we got this one optional fight that lasts only about 5 minutes? Why, Suda? Why? Oh well, better than nothing, I guess. Overall, this fight is flashy, it's insanely hilarious, and it's the perfect way to end No More Heroes. And it's certainly a better final boss fight than Bastard Twat Jr. Fuck you! Now before we move on to number 1, I'd like to give a few honorable mentions. These guys were really close contenders, but I didn't like their fights enough for them to make it on the list.
For the Hail Mary. Let's do this!
So for those of you who saw my list about my favorite soundtracks, I explained how the song Philistine was one of my favorites. But little did you know that the fight with Margaret Moonlight is my favorite fight in the series.
I explained why I like this song already, so I won't be going over that in this segment. But however, there's plenty to talk about when it comes to Margaret Moonlight. Firstly, let's talk about the build-up. You start off by fighting a bunch of people outside of an abandoned supermarket while it's sunset. It's quite lengthy, but at the same time, fun as hell. I'm serious when I say that one day whenever I was really pissed off, when I popped this game into my Wii and when I was killing all of these guys, I gradually felt less angry. By the time you finally reach Margaret, the moon is up in the sky and it's nighttime. And Margaret herself is ready to fight. She wields 2 scythes that are disguised as machine guns and even sniper rifles. And even though I already mentioned it, her song is fucking incredible. It explains Margaret's motives and it makes this fight even more awesome than it already is. Also, Margaret is voiced by Tara Strong, and wait a second. You know, now that I think about it, a lot of these bosses from the series are voiced by other familiar voice actors and actresses. Let's Shake is voiced by D. Bradley Baker, who voices Klaus from American Dad. Destroy Man is Josh Keaton, who is Major Ocelot from MGS3. Henry was done by Quentin Flynn, who has voiced Raiden from the Metal Gear Solid series and Axel from Kingdom Hearts. Paul Aiding voiced Captain Vladimir, who also voiced someone in the Metal Gear Solid series, but that was Roy Campbell. And Tara Strong has too many to list. Hell, Travis himself is voiced by the same guy who voices the medic from Team Fortress 2. But history lessons aside, the fight with Margaret Moonlight is my favorite fight in the entire No More Heroes series because of just about everything in the fight. The atmosphere, the music, the character herself, just all amazing.
I'm Randy Diesel 27, and Margaret Moonlight is my favorite fight in the entire No More Heroes series. Now if you'll excuse me, I have some assholes to kill.
What happens now?
Now? Let's go practice medicine.